How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? ShinySnorlax here, bringing you guys some Pokemon Showdown OU commentary. But before we get to that, we got the team preview. We got Staraptor, Choice Scarf, Reckless, U-Turn, Close Combat, Double Edge, and Brave Bird. Pebble Down, Leftover, Sandstream, Whirlwind, Slack Off, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake. Gavinor with, Venus Omega with Venusaurite, Thick Fat, Synthesis, and Power Fire, Sludge Bomb, and Giga Drain. Meta Bishop, Lumberry, Defiant, Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, Iron Head, and Knockoff. Sylveon, Leftovers, Pixelates, Hyper Voice, Protect, Heal Bow, and Wish. Koopa Unbound, Assault Vest, Magician, Focus, Gunk Shot, Focus Blast, Dark Pulse, and Hyperspace Hole. So that's the team preview, and let's get to the battle. How's it going, everyone? ShinySnorlax here, bringing you guys some Pokemon Showdown OU commentary. So let's get to it. Opponent leads out with his Klefki. I lead off with my Staraptor, and I switch out into my Hippowdon, predicting a Thunder Wave, and he does indeed go for the Thunder Wave. Opponent sets up his Reflect, and I set up my Stealth Rocks. Opponent goes for the Light Screen, and I go for the Whirlwind. At the moment, I'm just trying to stall and get some chip damage. Opponent goes for the Stealth Rocks. I go for my Whirlwind before switching out into his Caesar. Opponent Mega Evolves and goes for the Defog and gets rid of all the hazards. I go for the Whirlwind, bringing out the Tornadus, and the opponent goes for a Hurricane, and I go down to below half. I go for the Whirlwind and bring out the Klefki, and he goes for the Foul Play, and I go for the Slack Off, healing up. Opponent goes for the Foul Play again, and I set up my Stealth Rocks again. Opponent goes for the Foul Play once more, and I go for the Earthquake, starting to go on the offensive, trying to kill this thing. The Reflect wears off, and the opponent sets up another Reflect. I go for the Earthquake, and it just barely kills. Opponent sets up his Light Screen once more, and I go for the Earthquake, taking out the Klefki. Opponent brings out his Starmie, and I switch out into my Hoopa, knowing I take a hit, and opponent goes for a Psychic, and I take it very, very well. Opponent goes for the Hydro Pump, and I take that very well also, and I go for the Dark Pulse, finishing off the Starmie. Opponent brings out his Caesar. I predicted a U-turn, brought out the Hippowdon, and he does indeed go for the U-turn and brings out his Tornadus. Opponent goes for the Hurricane and misses, and I go for the Slack Off. I switch out into my Bishop, originally predicting a switch. However, he stays in, goes for the Hurricane, but misses. Opponent goes for the Super Power, and I did not notice I was offensive at the time, and it takes out my Bishop. I bring out my Sylveon, and opponent goes for the Knockoff, and I go for a Hyper Voice here, and nearly taking out the Tornadus. I switch out onto my Staraptor, originally predicting him switch out into something else. However, he stays in and goes for the Hurricane. My opponent brings out his Caesar, and I decide to leave Staraptor out to die to the Bullet Punch. I bring in my Venusaur, and I Mega Evolve, and I go for the Power Fire, taking out the Caesar. Opponent brings out his Volcarona, taking massive damage from the Stealth Rocks, and he decides to set up a Quiver Dance. And I go for the Sludge Bomb, nearly taking it out. Opponent goes for the Fire Blast, and I take it very well, and I get burned. I go for the Sludge Bomb, taking out the Volcarona. Opponent brings out his Garchomp, and I decide to let Venusaur die. Then I bring out my Hippowdon. I go for the Earthquake, getting very little damage off, and opponent goes for the Dragon Tail, bringing out my Sylveon. Opponent goes for the Earthquake, and I did not expect me to take it very well, and I did not expect me to take it that well, so I went for the Toxic. And opponent goes for the Earthquake again, nearly taking me out, and I go for the Hyper Voice, taking out the Garchomp. So yeah, that was a pretty decent fight. Be sure to comment down below. Body slam the like button and subscribe if you want to become a shiny Pokemon. And I'll see you guys next time.